In our society, we are taught that to be altruistic and to be selfless is righteous. And to think about ourselves and what we need is evil and wrong. But it isn't. Especially for women, we are taught to give and give and give and give, and to never think about ourselves. But what happens when we do that? We're serving from an empty cup, and that's no good for anybody. In this episode, we're going to talk about the difference between being selfless, less than yourself, or self-full, being in your full self, in your full feminine divine presence, and how that can make a huge difference in your life and in how you help other people. Women tend to like to help other people. General statement there. But most often we're doing that from an empty cup. That's being selfless. Less than who we are. We are not empty cups. So join me and let's talk about how we can be self-full and fill our cup and help others from that fullness and not be in a place of selfishness and definitely not being selfless. Welcome. Dancing with the Goddess is how we move through and experience life as modern mystic women. I believe anyone can be a modern mystic woman and experience awe, beauty, and magic in our daily lives. I'm Tora Arishnai Moon, Goddess Mystic, author, and creative. Join me as we discover who we are meant to be, explore different modalities for self-improvement and transformation, and reawaken to our goddess magic and feminine divine selves. I invite you to dance with the goddess with me. Here's today's episode. In our society, especially patriarchal society, and this isn't just American society, this is all patriarchal societies, they teach that being selfless and altruistic is the epitome of goodness. That if we think about ourselves and take care of ourselves, then we are selfish and bad. No. There is selfishness. A narcissistic person is selfish. They're only thinking about themselves and how much they can gain, how much they can grab for themselves. That's selfishness. Self-fullness and being self-full is thinking about what you need, what your soul needs. It is filling your teacup so that you can give to others. We can't give from an empty teacup. There's nothing there to give. We can't give the cup because if we give the cup, we have nothing left. And that's what so many women do, is they give and give. They give all of their tea, all of their self, and then they're expected to give the cup. And then wonder why they're sick, why they are resentful and angry and have hatred towards the people that they're supposed to help. I'm seeing this in a lot of TikTok videos lately of women recognizing that they're trying to serve from an empty cup and give the cup away too. Then they have nothing. That's this idea of the unfair emotional and mental labor that happens is women are trying to serve from an empty cup. There's nobody with a teapot that's helping them to fill their cup. We need that. Not only do we need someone to help us, such as our spouses, our partners, our children. We shouldn't be doing all the housework. Once our children reach a certain age, they can start helping out in the house. They live there too. Once they reach 3, they can start picking up their toys. They can start helping a little bit with dinner. We don't have to do it all ourselves. And that's what I call the Mother Martyr Syndrome, is we're trying to do everything ourselves. We're giving and giving and giving our party until there's only dregs left, if there's even that. We're being selfless. And if you really think about selfless, it's being less than yourself. It's giving so much of yourself that you have nothing left. And we're taught that this is altruistic and a good thing to do. But if you think about it, a lot of altruistic people are doing it not because out of the goodness of their heart. They're doing it to look good for others, to give to a charity so they pay less in taxes. Is that truly altruistic? But if we are in a self-full place, if we're filling our teacup with what makes us happy, with doing the exercise and eating right, with our creativity, of taking time out for our creativity, of our spirituality, if we're filling our cup, then that which we're giving to other people is from a loving, compassionate place. We're doing it because we want to. We're doing it because it feels good for us to do. It's part of who we are. And then our giving has a different quality to it. Now we're giving from a place of love and compassion, from a place of joy rather than from resentment and being expected to do it. That's a totally different energy. If you want to join in the conversation and join me in a conversation about how we can stop being selfless and being more self-full, I invite you to join my Dancing with the Goddess Sisterhood, and the link for that is in the show notes. I see this Mother Martyr Syndrome in my sister and my mother. They were taught that they needed to always be giving from the Mormon religion that I grew up in. They are still practicing Mormons. I certainly am not. And I've watched them, especially as I've done my own experimenting in the difference between being self-full and being selfless. And I paid attention and I've watched them. My sister especially is giving, giving, giving. She gives to her church. She gives to her family. She gives to her husband until she has nothing left. That the only way that she can get any time for herself is to be sick. And I see the underlying resentment that she's doing all this giving and not getting anything in return. That she's not able to fill her cup of tea. She's not able to be who she is. She's not able to be self-full. Because she's always in this selfless place of being. She's in this mother martyr. She's martyring herself. Of, oh, look how good I am of a mother. I'm giving all of this to my children. I'm giving all of this to my husband and my family. I'm giving all of this to my church to be seen as good. But underlying that, the saucer under her cup is resentment and hatred. So if there's that underlying resentment and even hatred there, are you truly giving? Are you truly in what they call a selfless place of not thinking of yourself and just giving to others. If there's that resentment there, then no, you're not. You're becoming a martyr. You're doing it because it's expected of you and not liking it at all. In our journey of awakening to our feminine divine presence, we need to stop being selfless, less than who we are, and being more self-full, being that who we are. And our feminine divine presence is our soul. It is our own divinity shining through us and in everything that we do. We can't be that divine self if we don't know who we are. That is part of the awakening to our feminine divine presence, is figuring out who we are. It is figuring out what kind of tea that we like. This is a blackberry sage and a black tea. So do you like a black tea? Do you like a chai latte? The black tea with lots of spices and with milk in it. Do you like green tea or a matcha or a white tea? They all have different qualities and flavors. We need to find what those flavors are, what kind of tea that we like, that are just, yum, and be doing more of that. And less of the things that make us feel resentment, that make us sick, that don't fulfill us, that drain us. There's a difference if we're being selfless and being self-full. If we're being self-full, we're doing it from a place of joy. And when we get done doing it, we're energized. We're like, oh yeah, that was such an amazing experience. I want to do more of that. But when we're doing it in a selfless place, that we're doing it out of duty and obligation, out of it's expected of us, it has a nasty taste in our mouth. For me, it would be like drinking coffee. I don't like coffee. I like tea. And if you don't like tea and you like coffee, then what you're doing is finding what flavor of coffee do you like. Do you like a dark roast or a lighter roast? Do you like tea from Kenya or someplace else? I'm not a coffee drinker, so I can't give you all the particularities of it. But for me, doing something that's selfless would be like having to drink a cup of coffee. It's bitter. It's nasty. In my taste. If you like coffee, awesome. My daughter loves coffee and doesn't particularly care for tea. Each one of us is different. What fills our cup, it's going to be our particular tastes. Circling back, because we're women, we don't go in a straight line, we circle. So circling back, when we are doing things that are selfless, it is that bitterness. There's that bitter taste behind that resentment that happens because we have to do it. It's not something we want to do. And when we get done doing it, we're just completely drained. There is nothing left. We have no energy left. Even if we wanted to take care of ourselves, we have given everything to our family, to our church, to our husbands. We have nothing left for ourselves, and so we're drained. And that causes health problems. That causes emotional distress. It can be and lead to depression because we're not in that place of joy and self-fullness. We're not being who we are. we're not acting in a place that's authentic. We hear about being authentic all the time. But how do we do that? We do that by being self-full. When we're self-full, we know who we are. We're awakening to our feminine divine presence, to that which animates this body. And I talked about that connection between the body and our soul in episode 12. They're linked. We can't separate them. Being self-full is not selfishness. We're not thinking about just ourselves and what we can get from others, and taking and not giving. That is being selfish. A good example of selfishness is Trump. That narcissistic behavior of not thinking about how their actions affect anybody else. That's selfishness. When we are self-full and we're acting in this place of ourself, of our soul, we are, yes, we're taking care of ourselves, doing what's right for us. But we're also thinking about how our actions affect other people. We are able to see and have empathy. And we're doing our actions from a place of empathy. We are doing those things that, yes, they are right for us, but they also help other people. When you are selfish, you don't have any empathy for anybody else. You can't understand what they're going through or their needs. But when you are self-full, you are able to see other people's needs because you've seen them in yourself. You can have that empathy and relate to other people and help them in the way that they need help, rather than from that selfish, selfless place of, you need help and I know what you need. That's part of selfishness. And selflessness is, oh, I'm going to pray for you because I know what you need. That, my friends, is the epitome of selfishness. You praying for me when I didn't ask you to, and in a way I don't want you to, you're being incredibly selfish and have no empathy. But if I come to you and say, you know, I'm having a bad time right now. Can you light a candle for me? Can you say a prayer for me? Then that is, one, the person asking for that is coming from a place of self-fullness, of knowing they need help. And it's incredibly difficult to ask for help. It is for me, and I know it is for a lot of women. And it's also being self-full on the other person is to be offering those prayers in a way that serves that other person. And I learned this a long time ago. We can't say prayers on behalf of another person from a selfish place of us knowing or thinking we know what's right for them. A long time ago, I had a friend who was dying of cancer. And the group of us in our coven got together and did a spell and did prayers for her to heal, to get better. We were doing this, unfortunately, from a selfish place. We were thinking about ourselves and our loss of that friend and how much that would affect us. We weren't thinking about what was in her highest and best good. She got better, got out of the hospital, and had the worst 6 months of her life afterwards. Yeah, we prayed her to health, but we really didn't. What was actually right and best for her, and what we finally realized after that 6 months of incredible challenge and hell for my friend, we finally figured out that what we thought was in her highest and best good was not in her highest and best good. She didn't have to go through that hell necessarily. Since then, whenever I pray for someone or pray on behalf of someone, I always do so in praying for what is in their highest and best good, allowing them their choice. Because when we're acting selfishly, we are taking away their free agency. We are taking away their choice. When we are telling somebody, oh, I know exactly what you need. You need to do this. If you do this, if you eat this food, if you do this exercise, you'll look better. You'll feel better. Or XYZ. But we don't know for sure. Every body is different. Every physical body is different. What's right for your body is not necessarily right for somebody else. I've tried being a vegan and tried being vegetarian. I was sick. That isn't what my body wants. I need some protein. I need meat protein for my body to be healthy and for me to have the energy that I need. I don't eat 3 meals a day or throughout the day. I've tried it. It's not right for my body. When we're in this self-full place, we can offer invitations. I try to do this in all of my offerings and everything that I'm suggesting to you. They're suggestions. I'm inviting you to experiment with it. I'm allowing you to have your free will, your free choice, your free agency to choose your path. I'm sharing with you what has worked for me, what I have found, the wisdom that I've discovered. And if it helps you, if it works for you, awesome. I'm glad to have helped you. If it doesn't, if you try it and you go, no, that's not for me, awesome. I've helped you discover more of what it is for you to be self-full. Circling back, what do we do? I don't necessarily circle, I spiral. So spiraling back to Mother Martyr Syndrome of where we're giving, being selfless, less than ourselves. One of the reasons that we do this is because we're taught the proverb, it is better to give than to receive. Question that premise. There's an author I follow, Becca Smye, whose whole thing is question the premise. We can do that not only in writing, we can do that with everything in our life. Question the premise, is it better to give than to receive? If you're giving, and if everybody's giving, who's receiving? And if you aren't receiving in grace, are you being self-full or selfish? If somebody tells you, oh, you look so good today, and you say, no, I don't, that's being selfish. You have just literally spit in the other person's face. They were being in that self-full place and sharing with you. You may not believe that you look good, but is it going to hurt you to be in that place of, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I learned this lesson of giving and receiving and how it makes the other person feel when you receive with grace and joy. Had a friend, we were doing a workshop and he was drawing on a piece of white paper. and he only had like a black and red. I went home that night and I had a set of markers. Ooh, he would really like these. And so I'm not giving out of, oh, he's going to think better of me if I give this to him. That's another part of selfishness. And selflessness is, ooh, I'm giving this to be seen as something more, to be seen in a certain light, that they're going to like me better if I give this to them. I was giving it from a selfful place of, oh, this person's really going to like this. I think he's going to enjoy using these markers, so I'm going to give them to him. And when I gave it to him, he didn't do the usual of what we're taught to do when we're given something, because it's better to give than to receive. He didn't do the, oh, that's nice. He received with grace. He received with self-fullness of, oh, amazing. I really like these. Thank you. The way that made me feel with the way he responded was, oh, thank you. I really made his day. I was able to give something to him that he really wanted and enjoyed. So we can receive from self-fullness as well, and be in that place of gratitude when someone gives to us. And that someone is not necessarily another person. Do you receive the blessings from the goddess, from source, the universe, with gratitude? How often do you say, thank you, thank you, thank you, to source, to the goddess, to God, whatever term you use? Now, if I'm always giving to somebody and they're pushing away from it, am I going to continue giving to them? No. I'm going to reach a point of, fuck this noise. No way. No, they don't appreciate what I'm doing. They don't appreciate what I give. They're kind of rude about it. No, not going there. I don't need that. Me being self-full is, I don't need that energy in my life. So no. It's the same with deity. If we are never grateful for what we receive, and we're always in a negative space, pretty soon all we're getting is negative, because deity is like, show some gratitude once in a while. Then maybe I'll help you. Deity is certainly not here for you to bash on them. None of us are. That's part of being self-full and being selfish. Selfish is always asking, demanding from deity, and never expressing your gratitude. How often when something amazing happens, that, oh, you've just had a really great day, or a really great experience. How often do you, right as you're in that experience, say, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love this. If you want, you can add more, please. Part of this is the law of attraction. What you're putting out, the energy that you're putting out, is what you're receiving back. So if you are putting out selfishness and being selfless, that's all you're getting. You're getting more and more opportunities to do that. You're getting more and more opportunities to drain your cup and not refill it. But if you're in a place of self-fullness, doing things that fill your cup, and you're constantly refilling your cup. You're filling it, and then you're sharing it. You're filling it, and then you're sharing it. From this place of love and compassion and empathy, then your cup's never going to be empty. If you're filling your cup and having these amazing experiences, and you're saying, Goddess, Source, God, Goddess, God, Universe, Source, thank you, more please, and you're always in this energy of giving and receiving. You're going to receive more and you're going to give more. It's just law. It's the law of attraction. At its most basic, the energy that you are giving out is the energy you're receiving back. The more you're in a place of gratitude and joy, in a place of self-fullness, of being in your feminine divine's presence, the more you're going to be that way. The more opportunities for you to do that, the more invitations, the more things to respond to will show up in your life. But if you're negative all the time, if you are being selfless, that you're always giving out of your cup and you have nothing left, and you have that resentment there because you're just giving, and you have nothing left to give, you're just going to stay in that place. When we're first awakening to our feminine divine presence and to our being self-full of who we are, it can sometimes be difficult because we've had this veil over our face. We've ignored ourselves. We've been in this place of selflessness, of giving everything that we have and not filling our cup, that we don't know. We don't even realize we have a cup anymore. Before we can fill our cup, we need to know we have a cup. We need to know who we are. And before we can fill it, we need to know, do we like tea or coffee or milk or something else? What do we need to fill our cup with? And that can be challenging. I have a course that I'm developing that's coming open in the next couple months. I'm recording this in January, on how to uncover your treasure chest. And your treasure chest is you. It's your cup. And I share with you ways that I have used and discovered myself. And it's an ongoing process. We're always going to find more of what we like, more of what fills us up. So it's an ongoing process. Sometimes doing that self-analysis, that self-discovery work, doing it by yourself is kind of hard. You can do it, obviously, but when you do it as part of a group and with a guide, a mentor, it's much easier. I invite you, if this sounds like something you're interested in, to sign up on the wait list. One, that'll let me know that people are interested in this. And when I have enough that are interested, then 2, you'll be notified when you can register for it and be one of the first ones to register for it, because I am limiting class size on that to 12 women, so we can really go deep, so that we can support each other in this journey of discovery. We can't do that in a large group, so I'm keeping it as a small group of women. The link to sign up for the wait list and to learn more about this is in the show notes. Over the course of this next year, we'll be working with different goddesses and connecting them with archetypes. It's easier to connect with the goddess and her qualities when we link that with an archetype. And archetypes are those energies that our mind can really connect with easily, such as the archetype of rebel, which I connect with the goddess Lilith, or being a leader, which I connect with Amaterasu as the Queen of Heaven. As we work with the goddess and those archetypes of the goddess, we are awakening to who we are. We are awakening our feminine divine presence. And once we awaken to that, then we can begin to align with those qualities of the goddess, with those qualities within those archetypes, and see that we have those archetypes within us, that we can be a humanitarian or a creative, and that we have wisdom. It's not necessarily always looking outside of us to people who have that archetype, but we have that as well, and we can attune to that. And as we attune to it, we begin to embody it. We have to awaken to it first, have to be conscious about it, know that it exists. We have to attune to it, to connect with those energies and align with those. Then we can embody. To uncover your treasure chest is the awakening process of awakening to who you are, awakening to some of the qualities that you've hidden and locked away because of this idea that we can't be self-full, that we have to be selfless. There's 7 keys that we can unlock our treasure chest. That's awakening. The next step is attuning to those energies, to attuning to the goddess and goddess archetypes, to learn more about ourselves, to be more self-full, to be more in our feminine divine presence. And that's what we'll be doing this year in the podcast. We'll be talking more about those goddess archetypes, and we'll be talking about those and discussing those in the Dancing with the Goddess Sisterhood. If you want a discussion about them, if you want to talk about them, if you want to explore that more deeply, join me in the Dancing with the Goddess Sisterhood. We can only do so much in the podcast. We can actually have those conversations back and forth in the sisterhood. We can talk with each other. We can talk with and learn from each other. When I was in karate, I do have black belt in karate. One of the things that we were taught, and I did Japanese style karate, every time we started a session or started sparring with someone else or practiced with somebody else, we always said, "Onegai shimasu," which we were told was, "Please teach me." That was a white belt, a beginner, and a black belt. Didn't matter if you were a white belt or a black belt. You would say that to your partner, because a black belt could learn just as much from a white belt as a white belt could learn from a black belt. A white belt's coming at it from a fresh perspective. And I've held that attitude even after I stopped doing karate of, please teach me. Yes, I do have some wisdom that I'm sharing with you, but you also have wisdom that you can share with me, that I can learn from. And that's what I see happening in the Dancing with the Goddess Sisterhood, is the sharing of wisdom, of a safe place where you can practice sharing your wisdom and being self-full. You're not going to end your Mother Martyr Syndrome of selflessness like this. It's going to take some practice. You're going to need a safe place to practice, to share that from a place of self-fullness and be seen for that and acknowledged for that and celebrated for that and go, yeah, this feels good. I can continue doing this. I can speak up for myself in this situation because now I've done it in a safe place. Now I can tell my husband what I need. I can tell my children what I need. I can tell my boss what I need. That's being self-full. But we need to practice that. And if we do that in a community of other women, we're empowering ourselves and we're empowering each other to be self-full in all areas of our life. So I invite you to join the sisterhood. We can stop giving from an empty cup. We can stop being selfless, less than who we are, and giving from an empty cup. We can learn what we need to fill our cup. We can fill our own cups, and we can ask for help and have someone help us fill our cup. And when we do, now we're giving from a place of self-fullness, of love, of empathy, of compassion, and joy. We can fill our cup and fill ourselves. And I can share my cup with you. And we can share our cups with each other. And when we do, when we share, when we're giving from a place of self-fullness, we never get drained. Because when we are sharing from a place of self-fullness, our cup is always being refilled. And giving from a full cup is better than from an empty one. And with that, we are complete. May you dance with the goddess in love and joy. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode and it deepened your dance with the goddess. Please subscribe to our channel, like and share the video, and feel free to comment. This helps more women find our show. To support the show, please donate to buymeacoffee.com/DWGpod. Your donations help support the cost of hosting, editing, and production of the podcast. We appreciate your support. May the rest of your day be amazing, and may you dance with the goddess in love and joy.